Hello everyone. We welcome you to today's insightful session on the Ethical Hacker course offered by Multisoft. Ethical hacking is one of the most in-demand career options, especially because cybercrimes are increasing at a rapid pace. Completion of this course is hence a must for all IT security enthusiasts. Today's session will provide you in-depth details about the ethical hacking training at Multisoft. Let's get on to the agenda. We will start with an overview of ethical hacking. After that, we'll take a look at the course details of ethical hacking, which will include the scope, the target audience, job roles, and the course outline. The next section will be the sneak preview, where I will pick up one of the important course topics and discuss it briefly. This will give you a fair understanding about how online training will happen at Multisoft. We will then cover the details about Multisoft online training for ethical hacking in terms of learning resources, skills, and the ability to clear the exam. At last, I'll summarize the session for you. Let's start with an overview of ethical hacking. The term hacking is not just restricted to computers. Hacking widens the competencies of any electronic device, that is, it makes its use beyond the original intentions of the manufacturer. As a matter of fact, the decade of 1960s marks the emergence of hackers at MIT. Electric trains were their first victims. They wanted them to perform faster and more efficiently. So, is hacking always bad? Not really. It only depends on how to use it. But it wasn't until a group of these hackers decided to exert their knowledge in the computer mainframes of the MIT. The second generation of hackers came into existence in the 1970s, referred to as telephone hackers. They acquired ways to hack the telephone systems and make phone calls for free. The third generation of hackers came into picture in the 1980s. These hackers specialized in hacking computers. Therefore, when the use of internet increased around the world, the number of hackers increased. But it wasn't until the end of the decade that the security of systems gained prime importance among the mass. The Computer Fraud and Abuse Act was passed by the Congress in order to bring this crime of hacking under control. Considering the huge negative impact that illegal hacking caused, slowly and gradually the concept of ethical hacking boomed, and we see the need of ethical hackers in every business environment today. Now that I've discussed about the history of hacking, it is time to provide you with some insight into hacking and ethical hacking with the help of understanding the difference between the two. Hacking means to exploit security controls either in a technical, physical, or a human-based element. Through hacking, we are exploiting system vulnerabilities and compromising security controls to gain unauthorized or inappropriate access to the system resources. On the other hand, ethical hacking involves the use of hacking tools, tricks, and techniques to identify vulnerabilities in order to ensure system security. It focuses on simulating techniques used by attackers to verify the existence of exploitable vulnerabilities in the system security. In terms of impact, hacking can bring major impact to businesses. Attackers may steal corporate secrets and sell them to competitors, compromise critical financial information, and leak information to rivals. Now, who is a hacker? A hacker is a person who illegally breaks into a system or network without any authorization to destroy and steal sensitive data or perform malicious attacks. Their intention can either be to gain knowledge or just to poke around doing illegal things. For some hackers, hacking is a hobby. Such individuals just check out how many computers or networks they can compromise. It is time that I discuss the course details for ethical hacking with you. To understand the course details, it is important that you are aware of the scope of ethical hacking. As per the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 37% growth is predicted in the IT security sector by 2022. Industry reports also claim that ethical hackers are amongst highly paid professionals with an average remuneration of $71,000 per annum. However, the irony here is that contrary to the demand for ethical hackers, there is a shortage of qualified and knowledgeable professionals. Considering this fact, it makes sense to gain the skills of an ethical hacker and join one of the most flourishing fields. Talking about the target audience of this training, individuals with a minimum of 2 years of verified work experience in the information security domain can attend this course. The kind of jobs available after the completion of this training are that of Network Security Systems Manager, Network Security Administrator, Security Executive, and Web Security Manager. In the ethical hacking training at Multisoft, we will cover the modules mentioned on the slide in detail. You can download the course contents also from our website, that is www.multisoftvirtualacademy.com. Now that you know what all modules will be covered in the ethical hacking training, let's move on to the most awaited and interesting section. Yes, that's the sneak preview section. I've already shared a brief overview of ethical hacking with you all. So, let's cover the details of the same in this section. To understand hacking in detail, I'll first share with you some examples of recent unethical hacking incidents that have gained global coverage. In likely the biggest ever breach, hackers from Russia were recently in the news for stealing over 1.2 billion internet credentials from major US companies. These credentials included confidential information like emails and passwords of users worldwide. Another incident recently highlighted was about Tubkin, which is the name of a malware that allows hackers to steal cash from ATMs without using debit or credit cards. All they need is a series of codes which have helped such illegal hackers to steal money from at least 50 ATM machines in Eastern Europe and Russia by the end of March 2014. Now that you understand what kinds of impact can hacking attempts result to, let's understand the various types of hackers that are broadly divided into 8 categories. The first type is black hat hacker. These hackers are individuals with extraordinary computing skills and those who resort to malicious or destructive activities. They are also known as crackers. These individuals mostly use their skills for destructive activities, causing huge losses to companies as well as individuals. The next category is white hat hacker. Individuals who use their hacking skills for defensive purposes belong to this category. Such hackers are also known as security analysts. These days, almost every company has security analysts to defend their systems against malicious attacks. White hats help companies to secure their networks from outside intruders. The third ones are grey hats. These are individuals who work both offensively and defensively at various times. Grey hats might help hackers by finding various vulnerabilities of a system or network and at the same time help vendors to improve products by checking limitations and making them more secure. Then there are suicide hackers who aim to bring down critical infrastructure for a cause and are not worried about facing many years in jail for their actions. Suicide hackers are closely related to suicide bombers who sacrifice their life for the attack and are not concerned with the consequences of their actions. Script kiddies are the fifth category of hackers who compromise systems by running scripts, tools, and software developed by real hackers. Basically, they utilize small, easy-to-use programs or scripts as well as distinguished techniques to find and exploit the vulnerabilities of a machine. Then there are spy hackers who are employed by an organization to penetrate and gain trade secrets of the competitors. These insiders can take advantage of the privileges they have to hack a system or network. Cyber terrorists are one of the most threatening ones. These could be people and organized groups with a wide range of skills and are formed by terrorist organizations. Such hackers could be motivated by religious or political beliefs and may create fear by large-scale disruption of computer networks. They have the ability to not just hack a website but complete internet zones. The last category is of state-sponsored hackers, who are individuals employed by the government to penetrate and gain top-secret information and to damage information systems of other governments. Now let's understand about the elements of information security. Information security is defined as the state of well-being of information and infrastructure in which the possibility of theft, tampering, and disruption of information and services is kept low or tolerable. It relies on 5 major elements. The first one is confidentiality, which is the assurance that information is accessible to only those authorized to have access. Confidentiality breaches may occur due to improper data handling or a hacking attempt. The second element is integrity, which is the trustworthiness of data or resources in terms of preventing improper and unauthorized changes. It is the assurance that information can be relied upon to be sufficiently accurate for its purpose. For any information system to serve its purpose, the information must be available when it is needed. And henceforth, that's the third element. This means that the computing systems used to store and process the information, the security controls used to protect it, and the communication channels used to access it must be functioning correctly. Ensuring availability also involves preventing denial of service attacks, such as flood of incoming messages to the target system, essentially forcing it to shut down. In information security, it is also necessary to ensure that the data, transactions, communications or documents are genuine. Authenticity, that is the fourth element, means that a communication, document or any other data is genuine or not corrupted from the original. It means confirming that the user is who claims to be and ensuring the message is authentic and not altered or forged. For ensuring authenticity, we use biometrics, smart cards, and digital certificates. The fifth element is non-repudiation, which is a way to guarantee that the sender of a message cannot later deny having sent the message and that the recipient cannot deny having received the message. It provides the ability to ensure that a party to a contract or a communication cannot deny the authenticity of their signature on a document or sending of a message that they originated. Getting on to the classification of information security threats, they are broadly classified into 3 broad categories. The first one, that is natural threat, includes natural disasters such as earthquakes, floods, or any nature-related disaster that cannot be stopped. Information damage or loss due to natural threats cannot be prevented, as no one can anticipate such threats in advance. Physical threats lead to loss or damage of system resources through fire, water, theft, or any other physical impact. Physical impact on resources can be due to collision or other damage, either intentionally or unintentionally. Sometimes, power may also damage the hardware used to store information. The third type of threat is human threat, that includes the attacks performed by humans, who include disgruntled or malicious employees or outside hackers. Insider attackers can be the biggest threat to information systems because a disgruntled or malicious employee knows the security posture of the information system in your company and can hence create much more damage than an outside hacker. Human threats are further classified into 3 types. The first type is network threat. A network is defined as a collection of computers and other hardware connected by communication channels to share resources and information. As the information travels from one computer to another through the communication channel, a malicious person may break into the communication channel and steal the information traveling over the network using techniques like spoofing and sniffing. The second one are host threats that are related with a particular system containing important information. Attackers try to breach the security of these hosts using malware attacks, password attacks, etc. If proper security measures are not considered and implemented during the development of a particular application, the application might be vulnerable to different types of application attacks, which is the third type of human threat. Attackers take advantage of the vulnerabilities present in the application to steal or damage the information with the help of techniques like information disclosure, data input validation, etc. There are several ways that an attacker can use to gain access into a system. One of the ways is through operating system attacks. In such attacks, hackers search for OS vulnerabilities and exploit them to gain access to a network system. The other one is application level attack, which refers to exploiting the vulnerabilities in applications. Then we have misconfiguration attacks, when administrators are responsible to configure systems and they set it up with default settings or poorly configure them, they become vulnerable to misconfiguration attack. The fourth type is shrink-wrap code attack. Operating system applications come with several sample scripts to make the job of administrators easy. But the same scripts have various vulnerabilities and can be used for shrink-wrap code attack. For example, a hello world script or page left in place with an XSS vulnerability. Now we'll discuss about the various hacking phases. There are 5 phases that an attacker needs to follow. The first phase is the reconnaissance phase. In this phase, we collect as much information as possible about the target prior to launching the attack. There are 2 types of reconnaissance, passive reconnaissance and active reconnaissance. In passive reconnaissance, we acquire information without directly interacting with the target. For example, searching for public records or news releases. In active reconnaissance, we directly interact with the target, like telephone calls to the help desk or technical department. The second phase is scanning. This phase is also known as the pre-attack phase because here the attacker scans the network for specific information such as live systems, open ports, running services, and OS details on the basis of information gathered during reconnaissance. The third phase is termed as gaining access, and here the attacker obtains access to the operating systems or applications on the computer or network. If the attacker has limited access, he will escalate the privileges to obtain complete control on the system. In the fourth phase, the attacker tries to maintain access or retain ownership of the system. He may prevent the system from being hacked by other hackers by securing exclusive access with backdoors, rootkits, or trojans. The final or last phase involves clearing the track. In this phase, the attacker will try to destroy the evidence of his presence and activities for various reasons such as maintaining access and evading punitive action. So, with that we complete the sneak preview section. I hope you understood the terminologies I discussed. Let's now gain an insight to how ethical hacking training will happen at Multisoft. When you register with us for the ethical hacking online training, we will connect with you as per the pre-decided time and impart training for 32 hours in all. For the exact schedule and each session's duration, you can refer to the training calendar on the course page. The training happens through a secure web conferencing tool that allows a real-time learning experience. Once you register with us, we send out event links to you, wherein you log into an interactive platform that allows two-way interaction between the student and the trainer through webcam and voice chat. It is as good as a classroom since the whiteboard allows the trainer to transfer knowledge as done in a classroom. The share option lets the experts share files, videos, applications, and even desktops. Once you register with us, we provide you 24/7 access to an online resource center, wherein apart from accessing other training material, you can also attempt 8 module-wise assessments and 3 certification-based mock tests. You additionally get access to all related presentations, projects, and training videos. This is a sample of the online assessment that will test your knowledge on the various ethical hacking course concepts. All the questions will have 4 options, out of which you need to select the correct one. At the end of the assessment, you will get the information on the correct answers and reasoning behind the same. Now to summarize about the Multisoft Ethical Hacking online course, you will get 32 hours of training. The program provides you 24/7 access to an online resource center, wherein apart from accessing other training material, you can also attempt 8 assessments and 3 mock tests. Lastly, you'll be well equipped with the advanced hacking concepts, techniques, and countermeasures once you complete the course. This session was an attempt to provide you detailed information about online ethical hacking training at Multisoft. In order to register for the course or to ask any question, please write to us at info@multisoftvirtualacademy.com.